In the run-up to the 2015 general election, Gordon Brown has once again raised his head in order to support his and Scottish Labour's agenda. This is a short film detailing the misuse of truth that Gordon Brown has employed throughout his career, and why it would be folly to trust him now. With his voice of authority and confidence in speech, it is easy to get drawn into Gordon Brown's way of thinking. But by looking into a couple of key moments in his career, I hope to showcase how he's not only deluded the public, but the ramifications of his actions. Gordon Brown wasted public money in so many ways. He sold our gold off on the cheap. He chased an Al-Qaeda he knew didn't really exist. But worst of all his financial errors in Westminster, he bailed out the banks. When the financial crisis of 2008 hit, Mr. Brown rolled up his sleeves and got to work. He not only saved the country, but also saved the world.
We not only saved the world.
To avoid the fate of Iceland, Gordon Brown pumped £375 billion of public money into bailing out the banks. This is the equivalent of £24,000 for every household in the UK. He backed this up with promises of reform, of no more bonuses for bankers. This has become Gordon Brown's trademark, making bold promises he knows he may not have to carry through, leaving him blameless. The banking collapse was self-admittedly a lot to do with Gordon Brown's policies on banking during his term as Chancellor of the Exchequer. In turn, this injection of cash fueled a financial asset boom, meaning that the asset-rich did very well from the bailout, and subsequently 95% of all benefits of the bailout went to the wealthiest 5% in the country. Job insecurity ramped up massively. And then in 2010, Gordon was gone from power, leaving us with unjust austerity as the new government's chosen option. Poor Iceland, however, jailed their bankers, reformed the banking system, and underwent the IMF bailout. Iceland is now one of the happiest nations on earth. Mr. Brown then laid low, able to shrug his shoulders whenever bankers got their large payouts. It was no longer up to him.
How was your bonus this year?
I did alright. Only one Maserati.
With his tales that the bailout was the only option, Gordon Brown helped destroy the fabric of British society before disappearing. Heading into September 2014, the Yes campaign for Scottish independence was in rude health. The homegrown campaign grew in strength from week to week, to the point that a poll on the 7th of September showed that for the first time in the campaign, the Yes vote was ahead. This worried the current government, but luckily there was a volunteer to step in and save the Union. Enter Gordon Brown. One day after this poll, on September the 8th, Gordon Brown gave a speech to outline new powers that Scotland would be granted if people were to vote no. He offered the Scots Home Rule, as close to a federal state as possible.
We are talking about a big change in the British Constitution. It's like Home Rule within the United Kingdom. We're moving quite close, in my view, to something near to federalism.
These phrases were bandied about, and arguably it was the intense campaigning on this issue that swung the no vote to victory on the 18th of September.
The people of Scotland have spoken, and it is a clear result. They have kept our country of four nations together.
The Smith Commission, set up to deliver this Home Rule, has returned its offer of power, and it falls well short of the promise of Home Rule. 70% of Scotland's taxation is left in the hands of Westminster, nowhere near the parameters that Home Rule truly offers. Gordon Brown once again shrugged his shoulders, another tale told he does not have to follow through on. What Gordon Brown emptily promised Scotland in September, he is now offering once again should we vote Labour in May. With a track record like his, does anyone think that Home Rule will actually be delivered? Or that once again will we see the architect of these mistruths shrug his shoulders and disappear into the sunset?